How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Weaver Way podcast. I'm very excited to get into this episode. This is our Thanksgiving special. We have a variety of topics. Obviously, if you're subscribed to the Weaver Way podcast, you know I am Nick Cieslak. Let's cut to our other co-host. We have
Episode 10. Never thought we'd make it this far.
Yep.
Munib Salmani, Weaver Way. We're in the house.
Sebastian Villarreal in the house.
He doesn't got nothing good to say, so he kept it to himself. But look,
Well, let's just continue on now. So we have a variety of topics we're going to be discussing in today's video. I figure for now what we can do is do a little bit of matchmaking after the UFC Qatar event that just took place over this past weekend. So guys, Arman Tsarukyan defeated Dan Hooker in the second round by arm triangle submission. I think his next fight should be against Ilia Topuria for the lightweight championship. What do you say?
I disagree. I have been campaigning for Paddy the Baddy to fight against Ilia Topuria because I think it's a more interesting fight. I think Paddy is a physical specimen at 155. And I just overall think the fact that he has a whole nation behind him right now, Arman still needs to get in our good graces. Dan Hooker was doing some stupid shit, and I think that's kind of part of why he lost that fight. Jumping Gilly, he was doing too much Dustin Poirier, not enough Hooker shit.
That's crazy.
Sebastian, I know obviously you're probably the biggest Paddy Pimblett fan here. So what do you say to what Munib said? Do you think Paddy should be fighting for the belt?
No, let me tell you what I think. I think this Paddy hype is BS. I don't think Paddy should fight Gaethje. I don't think he should fight Topuria. Because who is he beat? Let's be honest. Michael Chandler, trash. Tony Ferguson, trash. And who knows who else he fought? No one even knows them. He hasn't beat anyone good yet. I say we give him Dan Hooker. I don't think he could beat Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker's too tall and he has better striking than Paddy. And I don't think Paddy would be able to take Dan down.
Hell no. Paddy's beating the shit out of Dan Hooker pretty easy, I think. Paddy is for real. You guys just haven't seen it. I'm a Paddy Pimblett believer.
The thing is, in this sport, you get rewarded for winning. You get to fight up in the rankings. And Paddy has been on a bit of a win streak. Although the Michael Chandler he fought, I don't think is the same Michael Chandler that's having close wars with Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. It's still Michael Chandler who was ranked at about 6 at the time. So I think that is still a good fight to propel him, not for a title fight, but a title elimination type of fight. So I want to see him in there against these big names like a Justin Gaethje or possibly even like a Max Holloway.
Justin Gaethje doesn't want to do it because Justin Gaethje's been saying it's title shot or nothing.
Well,
So
it's
that's-
Paddy Pimblett or nothing. If it's not Paddy Pimblett, retire. Get out of
How
here.
do you think Paddy would do against Max Holloway?
I think that's probably a very hard fight because Max is legit. Max can beat anybody on any given day, in my opinion. I think he's like that. And right now, I think because Islam Makhachev is not in the 155 division, it's very wide open. I know Ilia Topuria is fantastic and his boxing is unbelievable, but I still think there are ways that you can beat a guy like Ilia Topuria. I personally think a way to beat Ilia Topuria would be throwing a lot of knees up the middle, having very sharp kicks that you can hit him with from the outside especially. That's personally my opinion. If you stick to the outside game, I think you have a chance. Max was giving Ilia a lot of problems in their fight until he obviously got dialed in and knocked out.
So, guys, I'm going to do some matchmaking for you guys right now, and I want you to just tell me if you're feeling this matchmaking, yes or no. So, for the lightweight championship of the world, I feel like the most deserving contender at this point is Arman Tsarukyan, and it is an interesting fight because they have been going back and forth with each other as well. So, I'm going to match up Ilia and Arman. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2 in a rematch. That's been a long time in the making. They fought, about damn near 10 years ago? So I think this would be the perfect time to run a rematch between those two fighters. Legends of the game, former world champions. You could put that as like a co-main event on pay-per-view for maybe like an international fight week, maybe the White House card. We'll see. And then you do Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. And then with Dan Hooker, you can match him up with Benoit Saint Denis, who just came off of a big win. Which, speaking of Benoit Saint Denis, that actually just reminds me, you were strongly picking Beneil Dariush. And,
Let's talk about a lot of your
yeah,
picks.
Okay.
But
Look,
regardless,
What do you have
Look,
to say?
regardless, before we
I'll
get
tell you.
on that,
I still think Benoit is ass.
before we get up to that, right? I think that's some pretty good matchmaking right there. Hooker
was
versus
good.
BSD, Gaethje, Justin Rufus Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira, and Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria for the lightweight championship. I think that that would satisfy pretty much all the fans' wants and desires for these upcoming fights and fighters. If Justin Gaethje, if you turn down Paddy Pimblett, just go ahead and retire, man. You got knocked out by Max Holloway. He's claiming it was an exhibition and it doesn't really count. And the UFC owes me a title shot. The UFC doesn't owe you shit. Listen, you've been placed in massive opportunities. You've won lots of fights in your career and you've done a great job with your career. But you don't get to sit back and make demands when there's more deserving contenders and more exciting contenders than you. So, yeah, fight Paddy Pimblett. And if you beat Paddy, then yes, we can talk about title shot.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with all of it. Personally, I'll change a couple things, but I'm cool with all of it. In other news, though, instead of glazing UFC 24/7, let's change the topic and say the truth of the matter. UFC is bound to die eventually. You want to know why? It's gonna die eventually, UFC. They've had a stranglehold on the market for a long time, but I feel like this younger generation, we're demanding different things. We don't care about acronyms, UFC. There's a new dog in the yard, and that's WXC. The WXC, we're promoting that shit.
Yep.
It's our fight show for young champions to be made. I know everyone wants to make UFC and all this, but guess what? Once I have billions of dollars, you won't need to fight for Dana White's chump change. Come fight for me.
That's right, guys. We're taking over the fight game. Since we're touching on WXC 99. In the main event, we have Taylor Moore versus Jake Wiggins. That is live in Flint, Michigan, December 5th. That's going to be at the Dorp Financial Center. You can get your tickets here at the Weavers Boxing Gym. And if you get your tickets, by the way, Manib just announced that you have a chance to win a PlayStation.
Yep.
So
PlayStation 5.
Wait, can we win if we buy tickets?
Everyone can win.
Hell
As
yeah.
long as you buy them from me. You
Hell
buy
yeah.
them from me, I will put you in that giveaway, and you can possibly win it. But I'm going to announce it at the event, too. I'm going to come out with, I'm going to wrap it, because the event is called Seasons Beatings. So I'm going to wrap it and have it there. I'm going to give away that, and then I'm probably going to do a couple other prizes just for second and third place.
Okay. Yeah,
Runner-ups.
sounds good. I mean, what's possibly wrong with going to see some amazing fights and possibly winning a very expensive gaming console? I mean, that sounds like a great night to me, you guys.
Come on now. That's a great night. We got former UFC veterans on the card. We got girl fights for a title, so you know
Diversity.
they're going to go crazy. We got diversity on the card. We got people from all over the United States coming to fight. So it's going to be pretty cool.
DEI MMA.
Oh my god.
No,
Yeah.
so also, moving on from that, boxing. We just had a big card this weekend. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde
Yup.
took place in the main event. Devin Haney was on the card. Jesse Van Rodriguez, who's one of the pound-for-pound talents, I think.
Yep.
And, yeah, that was a great card, top to bottom. What stood out? Let's go around our little circle right here
Yup.
and talk about what really stood out the most from that card. Whose performance stood out?
I think the easiest one is Bam's performance. He's the one with like a real clean knockout. But honestly,
And
I
he
want,
completely
Yeah.
dominated the whole time.
as per usual, as he usually does. Honestly though, I wasn't mad at Devin Haney's performance.
I hate how Devin Haney fights.
I wasn't mad this time. Usually it's like some BS where he's running around the ring, but he put what's the dude's name again? Like
Brian
Brian
Norman.
Norman, yeah. He put him down quick, and he almost could have stopped that fight, but he started playing a little bit too safe because he
Yeah.
knew he had,
Reverted to Devin Haney.
he knew he
Yeah,
had the
I'm
rounds.
Wait, we're having a fun fight. I must make it boring.
Yeah. He doesn't really push the action or engage that much. He's just trying to like. He does have natural ability. His speed is fantastic. His reflexes are great. Those are all good and whatnot. But he comes out and he makes the fight so ass. Like he's just not trying to engage. He's a chopped fighter. He's an ass. I can't stand Devin Haney. He's the worst fighter I've ever seen. And then Dave Benavidez. I think that guy is for real. It's a
My
shame
favorite
though.
fighter to watch. I think
Same.
if you're tuning
All
into a
action.
boxing match, The thing is, a lot of boxing matches, 12 rounds is a long fight. You know,
It is.
you get a lot of guys sitting behind the jab, trying to win rounds here and there. David Benavidez, he's not trying to win rounds, he's trying to freaking kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a throwback fighter. He comes out with a very aggressive pace, kind of like how a lot of the old fighters used to do that. And he got away with some stuff. I saw him get almost like a Muay Thai clinch at one point,
Yeah.
and he just started decking him, a half plumb clinch, and started just decking him in the face. My big thing with Dave Benavidez is just a shame that not a lot of people really want to fight him.
Yeah.
And ever since Canelo lost, I never thought that would have been the best fight for Canelo, anyways, because he's so much bigger. But somebody's got to do it. We got to get him against someone his level.
Yes,
be it.
I'll tell you what, David Benavidez, for a large portion of his career, campaigned at 168 pounds in Canelo's weight class. And Canelo should have defended his belt against him. I know, like you said, you weren't the biggest fan of that fight, but a lot of boxing fans were. And you had two Mexican fighters. It was a massive opportunity to make a big fight in Mexico that could have sold a lot of pay-per-views. But he decided to go with Terrence Crawford. Obviously, he lost that fight, and now we're not really, talking about that matchup anymore. We're talking about his future, Benavidez,
Because
his
he's
future.
got to move up in weight.
Yes, at 175 pounds.
And he's talking about moving up even more than that to cruiserweight.
I'll tell you what,
'Cause
obviously,
he does cut a lot of weight.
yes,
He does it more like an MMA fighter in his weight cuts, Benavidez. Benavidez comes down from like 200 plus, and he gets to his
big
weight
boy.
cuts. Yeah, when he was cutting to 68, he shot himself in the foot a few times because of obviously had his title stripped away from missing weight and the cocaine stuff and all that shit. So you gotta remember that too.
fun fighter, fun guy.
Canelo, yeah, Canelo in his time was going around. He was unifying the belt, so he fought everyone with the belt. Benavidez lost his belt though, because he couldn't keep the white girl out of his nose.
Yes, so, I mean, a lot of people are talking about a possible matchup between him and Dmitry Bivol.
Yep.
I have a different idea. Somebody who Bivol is 1-1 with, Arthur Beterbiev, who is also a knockout artist, who at the time the first fought, I believe he was like 20-0 with 20 KOs.
Yep.
And then obviously they went 1-1 with each other, but he's knocked out every single opponent he's faced other than
Who,
Dmitry
Beterbiev?
Bivol. Yes,
Yeah.
I think Benavidez versus Beterbiev is just amazing matchmaking because they're both absolute killers and they
Yeah.
both move forward.
They both have different punching styles too. Like Beterbiev is more of like a battering punch.
Thudding
Yeah,
kind of,
thudding,
yeah,
like
yeah.
boom, boom, very stiff, basic
Yeah.
punches, but hard. And then you got like a Benavidez with more like dynamic combinations that are just coming rapid.
It's like an octopus. He's got like 8 arms. You don't know where it's coming
I
from.
bet you feel like you're getting jumped when you fight a guy like that.
Yeah.
'Cause how many fists are coming at your face?
So I think that would be such fun matchmaking.
I just wish we got it a little earlier because Beterbiev
He's a bit older now.
is a bit older, and that's a big problem. But he does take care of his body. You know,
and he looked good, even though he lost his last
Yeah.
fight to Bivol.
Bivol was putting on his best Devin Haney performance. Bro, he does. He
He
fights.
was moving around.
I can't stand how these guys are fighting lately in the boxing. They're going out there, they're kind of like just trying to win matches. And the problem is with that, it's like, okay, we can understand like these guys with the high pedigree of like amateur boxing fight that way, but they're sort of ruining the sport by making the fight, like you said earlier, 12 rounds is a lot to watch.
Yeah.
And if you got a guy who's just point fighting for 12 rounds, it can become very frustrating to watch that kind of fighter. Like in the UFC, if you get a guy who's like point fighting, it's only 3 rounds and then they're off the TV within 25 minutes. You get this going on, you're watching this fight for a good hour, hour and a half sometimes with their stupid long ass walkouts. So they're kind of ruining boxing with all this shit.
That's why I think if we're talking about watching boxing for pure entertainment, it's one man and one man only. Jake Paul, who has mastered that. He does 8-round fights. He does
Exactly.
I think 8 round is plenty. Realistically, 8 rounds is plenty.
It
Like
forces the action, and he's going 8 rounds against Anthony Joshua or less.
I like how Bare Knuckle does it. Bare Knuckle does it 2-minute rounds,
Yeah.
very short, and then the ring is so small. It's so small. There's
It's like
no.
this one right here.
I think it might. I don't know. Maybe because we were seeing so far, but it looked so tiny. Looked like like a chicken coop, and they're just going crazy in there. So
Pretty
I don't know. Maybe we get a little bit of the Bare Knuckle.
Yeah, well, I mean, bare knuckle in its own right is a different sport too. You have to take that into
Yeah.
account. They are, kind of maniacs. Let's just say how it is. They go forward and they stay in the pocket and they trade for the most part. I mean, there's some slicker boxers who move on the back foot, but you tune in for a bare knuckle fight. You tune in for like a Mike Perry fight. It's just two guys coming at each other, colliding, and you're looking for violence. You're looking for guys to beat the shit out of each other. So that's typically why the bare knuckle rounds are 2 minutes. And my issue isn't with 2-minute or 3-minute rounds, but I just think 12 rounds is definitely a long fight, and it drags it out, and it makes guys pace themselves and slow themselves down. Whereas I think an 8 to 10 round fight would be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I have some
It
questions
makes
for
the
you
rounds more
guys.
valuable. It makes the rounds more valuable. You have to win.
Absolutely, 100% agree. If we can make those changes in the boxing world, we can make boxing great again. All right, guys, we're gonna play a little game. Anderson Silva in his prime versus this middleweight. Let's go. Anderson Silva, Israel Adesanya, prime for prime. Who wins?
I think Adesanya, but by being boring.
What about you?
I say Anderson Silva, slip, bang, just makes
Gotcha.
Izzy look
We would only
stupid.
hope so.
Next guy, DDP or Anderson?
DDP.
I'm picking Anderson again.
I'm taking Anderson all day. Luke Rockhold in his prime or Anderson?
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva again.
Anderson Silva. Robert Whitaker, Anderson Silva, prime.
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva.
Taking Anderson as well. Rainer the Riddler or Anderson Silva. Last one.
Rainier Durant. I'm kidding. No, Anderson Silva. But he's big though.
Yeah, he is.
Anderson Silva again.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do the same game now. Let's do it for welterweight. We're going to go. Is GSP better than this fighter? So let's go GSP or Islam Makhachev.
Islam by laying on top of him for 5 rounds.
I think GSP is a better wrestler. I think GSP wins. Go
I
ahead.
think Islam will win that.
All right. Next guy. Let's go Kamaru Usman or GSP.
GSP.
I say Kamaru Usman.
I think GSP's too smart for him. Let's go GSP. Next one. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad or GSP?
Bilal, remember that? No, GSP.
GSP, I think he has better striking.
Bilal is an Arab GSP, but I'm still going to go with the original OG GSP wins that one as well. Let's do one more. Jack Della Maddalena or GSP? I think this one would be fun.
The tricky matchup. I think Jack is the perfect style to beat him.
I think GSP. I think GSP has better wrestling.
I think if Jack stuffs the takedown, he beats him up all day.
That's what
But
I'm
that's a
saying.
tough takedown to stop. So I'm going to say I'm leaning GSP. That's a tough fight, though.
Yeah, well, his wrestling is different than like the Dagestani wrestling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
more like traditional.
Explosive.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Jack would be able to defend it. I think his GSP's wrestling's a lot more like Bilal Muhammad's. So
Hell yeah.
I think that Jack stylistically.
Let's go with this one. Let's test your MMA knowledge. Prime, Jose Aldo Jr. versus today's featherweights. Prime Jose Aldo versus Prime Volk. Who you got?
Oh, Volk, easy.
Yeah.
I'm taking Prime Aldo. Prime Aldo is a different beast, explosive. I think with a flying knee, Volk. Let's go with that next one. Today, Mosvar Evelev versus Jose Aldo.
Aldo based on damage.
What about you?
Aldo as well.
Aldo as well. Let's go Prime Aldo versus Zabit Magomed Sharapov. Fantasy fight.
I mean, you'd have to go Jose Aldo.
Yeah, Prime Aldo. I don't think there's anyone that beats him.
Okay. Prime Aldo.
Except Volk. I do agree with Volk. I think he's a more versatile fighter than Aldo.
He's so smart.
Dude, he's got the long. His wingspan's like my wingspan.
Yeah. Volk?
Yeah, dude, he got long
He's
wingspan.
short, but
like
he's got
Max
long
Holloway.
arms.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
All right. Give me one more. Let me think of a good one. Prime Aldo versus who's up there today in the featherweight?
Featherweight Conor McGregor.
Oh, Prime versus Prime Connor or Prime versus Prime Aldo because he got him a little bit late.
He
I
did,
think he
but
kind of
still
made him.
29 when he knocked him
Yeah,
out.
but you got to remember
Yeah,
Aldo went
knockout.
pro at 18.
Yes. like hypothetically, he doesn't land that punch right
Yeah.
away. How does that fight go?
Because think about it, Connor's never been like a 5-round fighter. Aldo always has been like a big cardio fighter. I think Aldo would win
I'm
that
talking
fight.
about WEC Aldo, the one that was leg kicking everybody. You know, by the time Aldo got to UFC, he stopped really leg kicking because of all the injuries he was getting to his feet. I don't know if you guys remember, but this guy would chop people down. His
Yes.
fights against Faber and everything. I mean, we can have a lot of fun with these hypothetical matchups too. Like, I think bantamweight is a fun one to do. I think there's some bantamweights that when they first absorbed WEC, that would have been fun matchups for what's his name? This guy Marab.
Yeah.
Like, I think Uriah Faber versus Marab would be fucking great in their prime.
Yeah, the thing is, the Marab style, it's almost impossible to beat the guy. You have to literally knock him out in order to beat him. I mean, he's fought everybody. He's fought O'Malley twice, obviously, Sanhagen. He's about to fight Jan again. Gosh, who else did he fight? He
fought everyone.
Cejudo. He fought Cejudo. He fought
Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone beat him.
He fought Marlon Moraes.
Ricky Simone beat Marab. That was his last loss. Marab is a killer, man.
Yeah.
He's got a fight coming up. He's fighting Jan again.
Which, by the way, can we take a second to acknowledge how stacked that card is, top to bottom? It is looking like a very good December card.
Who's on the card?
Van and Pantoja, that's my favorite fight.
Van Pantoja, that's just violence right there. You're asking for a good fight. I'll tell you what, I'm feeling an upset in that one.
I like Van. I actually do. I think his boxing is so good. I feel like if he marches down Pantoja, but Pantoja's been looking great. Pantoja's a beast. He actually knows what he's doing out there too. So that'll be a fun one.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pantoja, his whole style is come forward, throw punches, and take you down.
He's kind of like Marab, honestly. He kind of fights kind of
These
similar.
last two UFCs have been good.
I think he has more finishing instincts than Marab, though.
Who?
Pantoja.
Pantoja does. I don't think Pantoja could beat Marab though.
No, Marab's bigger, stronger, has better
Yeah.
cardio.
Marab is an
Pantoja's card
animal.
is very good.
Marab is an animal. I don't know what it is though that Marab is doing to these guys. Because even in the fight with Corey, I thought Corey came out and did so good early on, the beginning of the first 2 rounds. But then at one point you just saw like it was as though like Corey just got a little bit more tired than Marab, and Marab just started teeing off on him in the second round, almost blew his brains out. Marab started whooping his ass. Remember that? But it's like I felt like Corey had a good chance to win that fight if he could have just kept up that pace. It's a not easy thing to say. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's easier said than done. But I think if Corey could have kept his pace, I think he could have won that. But that's such a hard thing to do.
Who do you think could have beat Marab? Who do you think can beat Marab?
Talent-wise, I think Peter Yan is the most talented 135er. But, you know, the cardio is such a big deal because I really believe most of fighting is cardio. It's like, yeah, these guys, there's a couple guys I can name, like Corey Sandhagen, Peter Yan. These guys are more talented than Marab. But Marab has got like extra gears to him where, okay, now after 2 rounds, it's no longer about who's more talented. It's about who's got more endurance. In those last 3 rounds, he doesn't slow down. He just keeps going hard the whole time. That's such an advantage.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to really pick any current bantamweight right now against Marab. But if we're talking realistically possible matchups that he could have where he could potentially lose, I think if he were to move up and weight and fight Alexander Volkanovski, I think Volkanovski would beat him. I think Volk's bigger. I think he's obviously has like the reach that a lot of these 135ers don't have. I mean, O'Malley is pretty long, and so is Sandhagen. But O'Malley's got Volk's got those long arms. He's going to be popping the jab out there, and he's also grappled with Islam Makhachev for 5 rounds too.
Marab is like the worst possible matchup for a guy like O'Malley. But I do agree with you. Volkanovski, I think he would beat the shit out of Marab.
The only time Volk's lost is when he's gotten knocked out.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
and that was
Volk's
on-
one of the hardest guys to beat over a 5-round fight.
Yeah, Volk, and then Volk also has proved that he can fight like tooth and nail with a guy like Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think Marab can give a guy like Islam Makhachev any trouble at all. I just think he's more dense. I think that plays that physicality would just be too much for him, and he'd get overpowered. Yeah.
Volk, I mean, his pressure isn't quite Marab level, but he still got more than 5
But his
round
pressure
cardio.
is different because
Yeah.
because Marab will pressure you a lot with takedowns, and sometimes he'll unload combinations. But when you're fighting a guy like Volk, Volk is relentless with his punches and combinations and kicks. And then when Volk gets you down, his ground and pound, he's throwing so much at you. He's not looking to hold position. He's looking to do damage and finish the fight. So that's where I think he breaks people down. Because Volk has a lot of finishes with ground and pound, where he gets up and gets posture and he rains down punches and he breaks people. I think that's one of the best qualities of Volk is his ground and pound.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a quick game. Obviously, the UFC 323 card is stacked. If we're talking early prelims, and main card, I'm gonna read off some matchups, and then you're gonna give me a winner for these matchups. So opening up the night in the featherweight division, Muhammad Naimov versus Myron Santos. Who do you got?
I'm going to go Muhammad
I'm not
Naimov.
gonna be part of this one because I don't even know these guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Damn.
you can participate as we move on.
If you
okay?
know somebody,
Honestly, what I know, I'm not too big on UFC. I'm more boxing,
Okay.
but
Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Chicoli.
I'll take Abdul Malik. He's good. He's a good prospect.
Okay. Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner.
I'm going to take Jalen Turner.
yeah, I say Jalen Turner too because I do know Jalen Turner. He's a big guy. I think Jalen.
He's
Turner
coming
wins this.
back. He retired, but he's coming back.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Jalen Turner, I don't like this comeback from him. I don't think he's going to really accomplish too much. Cause
Is that 45?
How old is Barbosa? He's old now, right?
He's an old guy. It's
Is
at
this-
lightweight.
Oh, it's at lightweight. Yeah, I like Jalen Turner then.
I think he will win this one.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Bruno Ferreira versus Marvin Vettori.
Ooh, Vittori's been on the downside, man.
Yeah.
Before, I'd always pick Vittori because Vittori's so freaking tough.
We're
But
gonna test that
I'm gonna take Bruno Ferreira now because I think Vittori's on his way out, man.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's anything left in the sport for Vittori.
Do you think his chin's still going to hold up as the greatest chin in MMA history?
I think it'll hold up. Yeah, he can take it. He's got a brick head, but I just don't think he's gonna put out the output enough to beat Bruno Ferreira. Bruno Ferreira's a good fighter.
Okay, this fight I'm very excited for. A lightweight bout between two unranked prospects on the come up. Nazim Sadikov versus Fares Ziam.
Nazim Sadikov is my boy. I'm rocking with Nazim no matter what. And I actually do, unbiased opinion, I think Nazim is more physical. I think he's more talented. I think he's checked all the boxes that he needs to do. I've trained with him. I know how that guy works. I'm not betting against him.
Dude, his last fight was a banger.
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 And he was fighting someone.
Fares, we need to get you on the podcast, man. That would be so
Yeah,
sick.
we will definitely get Nazim on here.
Nazim Sadikov, dude, I
got
love
Nazim.
that guy. He is a fun fighter to watch.
I think
Sick fighter.
Ziam's body's so skinny.
It is,
I think
but
when
he's good.
Nazim,
It's a tough
he is
fight.
good, but I think when Nazim gets on the inside and he starts hitting him in the chest and in the body, I think he's gonna break him down.
All right, the most anticipated fight on the card: Macy Barber versus Kareem Silva.
I cannot stand this fight, but give me Macy Barber.
All right, moving on. We have this is a good lightweight bout, fun lightweight bout. Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. Who do you got?
Chris Duncan all day. Chris Duncan is a physical beast, and he beats guys that he shouldn't beat. You know, there's some guys they put him in that he's not supposed to beat, and Chris Duncan can go. He's freaking massive for 155 too.
Well, his last fight against Rebecca.
Bro, he killed Rebecca. Killed Rebecca. I've never seen a face like that in my life in an MMA fight. Bare knuckle fight, not even. That was absolutely. I don't know what was going on with whoever the ref for that fight. He was evil. He wanted this guy to die.
That fight was crazy.
They had money on Rebecca for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'll tell you what. Rebecca is like an alien though in MMA. You could beat that guy with a baseball.
5'6",
bat.
155, or
You could
density
beat that guy with a
maxing.
baseball bat, and he's still gonna keep coming at you.
And they do beat the shit out of him, and he keeps going.
All right, Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres.
Man, Manuel Torres is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. This is a tough fight for Grant Dawson. I know Grant Dawson, he has hopes to be in the top of the UFC, but I actually think I'm gonna go Manuel Torres. I think Manuel Torres can get him out of there.
I agree. The thing is, Grant's good. He's a good fighter, but he's not dangerous. I don't see him, finishing a guy. It's more
Yeah.
like, pressure wrestling. He's not like especially big for the weight class either.
No.
Like if he had like some size, Manuel Torres is long, athletic, light on his feet. And didn't he just snipe Drew Dober too?
He did.
Yeah, badly.
He's a good fighter, man.
He's a
I
very
think
good
he
fighter.
can get it.
All right. This is a good one. Jan Blachowicz, like 42, 43 years old, versus Bogdan Guskov.
And Jan Blachowicz, I think those weight classes is light heavyweight, and even sometimes middleweight. I think the age is just a number in those divisions because the UFC doesn't have the cream of the crop right now when it comes to the best prospects in those divisions. So I think Jan Blachowicz, he's very good. He used to be one of my favorite fighters. I think he can still do it. So I'm gonna go with Jan.
I'll tell you what, I like Jan Blachowicz, and he is one of my favorite fighters as well. I mean, he had the draw with Ankalaev, obviously. But I'll tell you what, man, obviously age is definitely a factor. Bogdan Guskov is on a bit of a roll right now. It's
How old
the
is
age-
Bogan?
Oh, I think he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, not only is Blachowicz old, he's inactive as well, and that's what really worries me here. I don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back in there. So that's an interesting fight. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Who do you got?
Oh, I'm taking Henry Cejudo. I think Henry Cejudo is smart enough to put Peyton Talbot in positions that he can't be successful. I think he can get him up against the cage, get a little takedown, and hold position, and just beat him that way. And then make him tired, make him work to get back up, put him back down again. Peyton Talbot, I think he's talented, but I definitely think he was overrated. Even in his last fight, he won his last fight, but the guy was like scared to death of him. I think that was more mental stuff.
I'll tell you what, can we get some justice for Hardy Barcelos? I mean, the guy needs to fight a ranked opponent at this point. He's beating Talbot, he's beating Garbrandt, he just beat Ricky Simone. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy's on a roll right now. He did get shinned by Umar, but I mean, Umar's at the top of the division.
Yeah, he's
so.
top three.
Yeah,
So
I mean, he's an old guy. I mean, they've really tried to get rid of this guy.
I know, and that's crazy. He's like a killer, bro. He
You
just
can't
keeps
get
getting
rid
him.
of him.
Yeah, like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. All right, this is a fun one. Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira.
I know Tatsuro Taira right now has been rolling
And
people.
you have to take into account it's a 3-round fight, too.
3 rounds.
I think that.
Brandon Moreno, though, I like Brandon Moreno's Mexican style boxing. He does roll punches really good because he's going to need to roll punches in this fight. I just have a problem with one thing in Brandon Moreno's style. I think he moves his hands too much, and I also think he has a chin in the air problem. And right now, the way that Tatsuro Taira is throwing his right hand, I think it can hurt him. And if Tatsuro Taira hurts him, I think he can sub him. So I'm going to go with Tatsuro Taira. This is a big one to say that, but I just think Tatsuro Taira is very talented, and I think Brandon Moreno is going to eat it if he doesn't put his chin down.
I agree. I could also see him kind of grinding out a decision. Remember, it is a shorter fight, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was to go longer, like it was a 5-round fight, that would favor Moreno and his experience. But I'm picking Taira in this one. He's got the youth. He lost a close fight to Brandon Moreno. I think that's good experience right there. So yeah, I'm picking Taira in this one.
Yeah.
Co-main event, we touched a little bit on this earlier. Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van.
Yeah, my brain's telling me Pantoja. And realistically, like if I was going to bet, I would say Pantoja. Because I think Pantoja has more weapons than Joshua Van in this present moment. Joshua
We
Van,
got a feeling. We
Yeah.
got a feeling.
I think Pantoja can give him trouble if he starts throwing those body kicks that he throws. Those are really good. Van, the thing is with Van, he does have good takedown defense, but I don't know if he has the best submission defense. I'm not convinced.
He's never fought anybody quite like Pantoja.
And
This
Pantoja's
is-
a bulldozer. He runs and charges people over. I don't know. I think it's just very, very soon for Joshua Van. I think he has a few more years before he does become champion eventually, but I'd be shocked if he wins.
Tell you what, I just got a feeling Joshua Van's gonna pull this shit off somehow. I'll tell you what, on paper, yes, Pantoja, it checks all the boxes, pressure, submissions. Joshua Van, had his toughest fight to date against Brandon Royval, which was an absolute war.
Great
But we've seen what Pantoja did to Royval. I mean, completely dominated him
Yeah.
for 5 rounds. But I mean, all Van needs is one combination, and Pantoja's style is literally coming forward, walking into his punches. So I don't know. I could see Joshua Van getting a knockout and being the new star on the block. Main event, bantamweight bout. Merab Dvalishvili looks to defend his title for the 4th time this year against Petr Yan.
I don't like this fight for Petr Yan. I feel like Petr Yan, if he had more one-punch knockout power, I would like it, but he doesn't. That's a big problem when you're going up against Merab Dvalishvili. You got to knock him out, really, because I don't think you're going to outpace him. And I don't think Petr Yan got better in wrestling enough to be the one that pushes the wrestling. So, that being said, I'm going to take Merab. I think Merab is just going to push the pace.
I agree. I don't think Peter has anything to scare Merab. Like you said, power. I don't think his wrestling's better. I think Merab wins this fight, and honestly, I think he should move up and become a double champ because who else is there for him to fight in this weight division? He's kind of cleared it out already.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the Dagestani fans are claiming Umar deserves a title shot again off of one win. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Merab. I'll tell you what. Petr Yan, in my opinion, if we're talking about just MMA skill sets, you could argue he's one of the most skilled bantamweight, not just bantamweight, one of the most skilled fighters ever. This guy is very, very good wrestling, very good boxing, very good sambo. I mean, just all around a really, really talented fighter. But he's fighting an alien. Quite literally, Merab is an alien. He's not human. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Merab in this matchup. And, before we wrap things up here, you guys, obviously we're a Metro Detroit-based podcast. Let's talk about the Pistons on a roll. 13 games in a row. Cade, Duran doing their thing.
Yep.
They just beat the Indiana Pacers last night. So, Mani, what do you think about this team, man?
I'm absolutely thrilled about the Detroit Pistons and the way that they're looking. I think Cade Cunningham is a top 5 player in the NBA. I would take him over majority of players. They call him the most ethical
Top
hooper.
5 out of NBA is crazy.
100% he is. 100%. I think he has potential to be probably the best player in the league, especially the best American player in the league. No lie. He's a triple-double every night. He's good for
We're
it.
America's team.
Cade is that guy. Cade is cut from a different cloth right now. Like, whenever they put up the stats that Cade's putting on, you got guys like Michael Jordan's name in it. You got LeBron James' name in it. You got Luka Doncic's name in it. So it's not crazy. And I also think that Jalen Duran has got potential. I think he's already a top 5 center in the league, but he's got potential to also be that all-NBA player with Cade Cunningham. Mm-hmm. So Jalen Duran's unreal. He's doing stuff that you should not be doing at 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's super young, too. He's my age. He's 21 years old.
The way that he handles the basketball, too, for a 7-foot guy to bring the ball up the court, he's doing crossovers, and then, he can even make a pass. He's doing things that are really impressive.
Yeah.
I think he reminds me a lot of Dwight Howard back in the day.
Yeah, but way more versatile.
Yeah.
Maybe not as strong and imposing, but more versatile.
It's hard to see anyone more strong than Jalen Duran, to be honest with you, bro. That guy's a tank. And then you got, obviously, you remember a few years ago, the coaching staff for Detroit was terrible. J.B. Bickerstaff was, Monty Williams was doing a horrible job. He wasn't playing guys like Jaden Ivey because he didn't like them. He's letting Killian Hayes run the offense. What the hell was that? We're watching some bullshit.
The NBA anymore?
No, he's not. And neither is Monty Williams. I hope not. He should not be a coach whatsoever. But yeah, that's our Detroit Pistons, man. They're doing things. They're down to fight. If they need to do boxing training, come on through.
Come train at Weavers, dude.
Yeah. Shout out to Omar Stanley on the NBA G League, right? That's what it's called, G League. Yeah. Motor City Cruise. He's training here now with us too. So I think I'd like to see that guy play for
Book
the
another
Pistons.
session with me, man. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see him play for the Pistons soon. We got to give him a little shout out.
Yeah.
If you guys get him in the game, we'll all go. The whole gym will go.
Yeah.
So that's a couple hundred tickets if you guys want us there.
Exactly.
Detroit basketball.
Well, I think that covers just about everything going on in combat sports right now. Tap it up real quick. So yeah, guys, thank you all for tuning in to today's episode. We covered a lot of different topics, and we're going to continue to do so. And we have a lot of major plans coming up. And this podcast, we're going to take it to a whole different level. We are the #1 combat sports podcast in the Metro Detroit area, and we're only getting bigger from here.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
else to add to it?
Yep. Don't forget WXC 99 coming up. Season's beatings. Also, we do this podcast out of Weaver's Boxing Gym, so make sure you come check us out. We got programs for all ages. See you soon.
Let's go.